Welcome back to the shop. I'm Jason, and today we're working on a new project. It's not one of my broken BMWs, the one under the cover, the white one, the silver one, or the black one. Today we're going to be working on a boat trailer. Something completely different than what we're used to. You see, recently Mom and Dad were out towing their trailers around in the desert and had a little issue with the boat. The brake line, of all things, was routed quite poorly on the passenger side, and somehow it was routed between the frame and the U-bolts to the axle. And what happened was, over one of the big dips, boom, it crushed that line. I have some video of it from when I went to inspect it at the trailer storage lot. Throw that up here. We've got a whole roll of new line, and we've got a bender and straightener and tubing flare. And we're gonna try to make a new line for it. Never done this before, never worked on surge brakes before. So we're gonna see if we can get it figured out and get the trailer back in safe driving condition. Should be pretty easy. Should be. Let's see what we can do. Well, first things first, we're going to have to figure out what's going on here. So let's get this thing up in the air on some jack stands. It looked like we might be able to get it on the lift, but that just doesn't seem like it's gonna work. So jack stands it is. Right there, you see that line hanging off? That got pinched between the axle and the frame through those U-bolts and just bent the crap out of it. With our wheels off, our next step is gonna be to break this guy free inside. Of course, I have metric line wrenches. I don't have any standard line wrenches, and this is all standard equipment, but it came off no problem. The fitting's still good. Right there, that's where the line was pinched. It just squeezed down right here between the frame and these U-bolts. The line should have been pushed over to the side and away so that it rides next to the axle, but it wasn't. We got new line, but we didn't get new fitting, so I'm going to use a brass wire wheel to clean these up. So under the trailer, we need to get our line from that side right there at the proportioning, or the splitter valve, not proportioning, over to this side. So I'm going to cut the line long. Before we do anything, we need to get these fittings off and on our new line. It's almost guaranteed, if you don't do this first, you'll flare the lines and then you'll have to cut them back off to put the fittings on. Make sure you use a dull cutter too. Makes it a much more enjoyable process. When you go to put your fittings on, don't be all slick and put them on the same direction, because that's not going to work. We're going to connect this side of the line and that side of the line. So make sure that you put them on in the correct orientation and then just slide them out of the way. We're just using a simple flaring kit here. The other day we did some practice flares. They turned out so-so. So today we'll practice some more on the real flares. So our goal is to have about as much stick out as the fitting, or just slightly less. And this has got a nice cut on there, so I don't need to ream it. What I found was just slightly less than the fitting was working pretty good. And crank it down. Now we're going to put the fitting back in. I've got just a little bit of oil on there so that it slides nice. Let's throw this in the vise, our third hand here. Let's see what we can get out of it. Okay, so that's our first flare. This is a double flare kit. Pull that out. And then we're just going to finish off the flare in. might have been a little bit tight. A little over polished, I think. Super heavy crimp in this thing holding tight. Well, the fitting fits on there nice. It's square.
Yeah.
I can file that a little, smooth that with some sandpaper. Yep, this is going to be a by hand operation. This worked really nice for HVAC lines to make them pretty, but these brake lines, I don't know. Yeah, that's going to get us much more clear right there. Before I hooked this line up, of course I crawled under here and I remembered, just in case you got any burrs or anything in the line, put a little bit of air through it and just blow it out. Probably not 1000% necessary, but can't hurt to get any debris out that might have been in there. There we go. Oh, it's gonna line up real nice.
That's close.
It was almost like it was planned that way. Before we try and make any mounts for this line, we're gonna bleed it. That way, if we've got a bad flare, then we didn't permanently mount the line to the trailer and have to deal with it twice. 'Cause that would suck. So hindsight is 2020. We probably should have disconnected the truck before we put it on jack stands. So we're gonna do what everybody else would do. We'll just disconnect it while it's on jack stands and hope it doesn't fall over. It's got 2 tires.
I put a chalk here.
Oh, there's a chalk. All right, we're good, we're good. Just inch and then I'll lift us off. Before we crack our bleeders open, I'm gonna put some isopropyl in here because it will evaporate. And then I'm gonna mix it around with a little paintbrush because this thing is full of goo. And then we'll pull it out with our bleeder here before we pump brake fluid through. I'm not worried about this brake or this alcohol getting stuck in the system because we're gonna flush the system very well today since it is and has not been maintained quite great before Mom and Dad got it. It'll be maintained better now. We want to get the best start possible. So what we have here is a vacuum bleeder. And what I did was just put a little extension line on here. So you see we're sucking all this fluid right out of there. And just like that, that's all the fluid this reservoir holds. Yep. Here, see if we can even see in there. See that? Totally dry already. Just rust and debris now.
That's crazy how little it holds.
Yep. So what's going to be important is as we're bleeding this, that we stay vigilant topping off the fluid on this side. Now, I've got gallon fluid here because I do a lot of work on cars and vehicles and things like that, so I go through fluid pretty quickly. Normally you wouldn't buy a gallon at a time. And just like that, it's all full. Man, this one's tight. Probably should have put some penetrating oil on there or something. All right, let's see if we can get any fluid out of it. Okay, we'll leave that for a second. We'll pump it up a little from down here. Yeah, it's moving fluid. I have both bleeders open back there. Now I'm getting some fluid. Oh yeah, some dark stuff. So other than having to fill the reservoir up front, this is definitely an easy way to do a one-man bleed. You can see how much air is in the system still. I was getting nothing but air for a while before I started getting fluid. The fluid is starting to get much cleaner now too. You might get a little bit of air into this line as well because the bleeder screw will allow some air past it as we're pulling with this much vacuum. I have it open down there too, and it's got fluid in the line. Yeah, look at that, that's much better. Yeah. And we've got good fluid in the line. I'm gonna close this one up. After a couple rounds of bleeding, we can't get any more air out of the system. At least nothing is coming out. We're gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of anti-seize on our lugs because they were starting to gull a little from the rust of dipping the boat in the water. We're not worrying about the bearings this time. We're gonna do a bearing reseal and repack in another video, so that'll come later. For now, we'll do this, and then we're gonna support our line underneath with some self-tappers and some clamps, which we'll get to in just a second. So for our studs, just gonna throw a smidge of anti-seize on each one of these, which yes, can affect the torque application, but not in a way on a boat trailer that's going to affect anything. As long as you keep checking stuff, you'll be solid. But we're not going to gull up these threads in the future trying to pull wheels off with rusted on lug nuts. Now I have one final thing to take care of while I'm under there, and that's to make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button. I don't ask this very often in the middle of the video. It's usually at the end, so you know, I forget. But I'm doing this for you guys. Like and subscribe, please. All right, so our last actual task is we're gonna put these insulated line holders on the axle here, and we're gonna use some little self-tappers. Hopefully we can drill into this. There. Maybe not, seems pretty soft. Yeah, there it's going.
Better than through the rivet.
Yeah, that didn't work quite as well. Okay, line's not rubbing on anything. Straighten it out right there. Probably could have gone a little further over, but now we'll go down to that side. Get everything in place nicely. And just like Judah said, just drill into it. Don't drill into the rivet. That was what I should have done in the first place. Okay. Straighten out that line so it looks nice. Looks nice up there.
Doesn't look like it's gonna get crushed.
No, not gonna get crushed this time. And it's not rubbing on anything. Nothing can hit it. I think we're gonna be solid. This is gonna work out nicely. And there's gonna be brakes again. Bonuses all around. Well, we're gonna get the boat off of the jack stands, onto the truck, and back out to the water where it belongs. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one right here in the shop.